Okay, I wanted to go over the featured slider. So by default, when you set your home page, the featured slider will just be kind of blank up here. And obviously when you start adding slides, it'll just fill into the space. So if we're in our dashboard, basically the featured slider is going to be handled under properties. And the way it pulls in is by a specific property type. So I'm not sure if you've gone to the other videos, but there's a couple types that aren't surfaced anywhere, but we basically use them to tag certain things. So for instance, we have homepage, which if you use that feature, will only pull in pages or real estate posts from the homepage type. And then our widget type, for instance, we have a featured widget, and that featured widget will only pull in posts that are posted to the widget type. So the featured slider is the same way, and the type you want to create is called featured. So once you create that, any property that we post to featured will display in the featured slider. And then we went ahead and built in and removed them from the home page just automatically. That way you didn't have, a featured slide and then the first post be the same thing. But other than that, anything in the featured will display anywhere else. You can display it to featured and single family, for instance, or anything else that you want to use. So, for instance, let's just dig in. So let's go and add new, and then I'll just go and type in a bunch of sample data for you. So we have we're adding a property. I'm gonna go ahead and add a new one. I have a bunch of stock art, and I will upload an image real quick. So once you upload the image, the key is going to be clicking this use as a featured image. So once we do that, it will display down here. And then the next key is to actually use this featured image. And then obviously you'll have your address if you want, if you're using maps, which you most likely will. Let me go and actually pull some data. Probably should have had that ready already. From the live preview. Okay. So we have our address, our city, our zip, and our price. And I'm going to go ahead and leave everything else blank for our example's sake. So I publish the file. And now we have our first slide, and everything looks good. So it's automatically going to pull the data. When we click on it, obviously the map's not correct because I didn't add the date, that specific thing, but everything's working. I guess I probably shouldn't have marked it as for rent, for sale. So let's go and just add another one, and we'll go from there. So we'll call this one property example 2. Add in some data. Alright. And then we'll upload an image. And remember to set this image as a featured image. And we'll make sure you have it featured, and we'll refresh it now, and we now have our 2 slides. And a couple things to note is if you want to adjust any of the options, go under theme options and slider if you want to turn autoplay on or off. And then you have a couple other additional options down here that you can adjust, like removing any captions and changing the link.